Right, let's talk about how VS Code handles settings. So the first thing I want to show you is what you will be presented with if you have a new installation. So let me just put all my settings in an unsaved file and close and open it again. This is what you'll see. You'll see a user interface that has settings separated by title, and then you can search for settings here. You have user settings, which are the ones we're talking about right now, and workspace settings here. And if you have, some settings are Boolean, so true or false, and you can just click or check and check. Some have more options, and usually a description that comes with them. Well, I guess, why isn't this showing a description? I don't know. Well, I guess if we go to the commonly used ones, there we go. Description's right there, right? Now, to me, this is not a very good experience. I don't like using this user interface. And something that makes it really weird is that if you click this button right here, you can actually see the JSON file for the settings that you changed. And we didn't change any settings, so therefore we have an empty JSON file. So where are settings coming from? This to me is a bit weird. And the answer to that is that VS Code has a default settings file, and you can open the command palette and choose default and choose this option right here, open default settings JSON. So every single setting in VS Code is actually coming from this read-only file, right? Default settings.json, right? So you have all settings and the default options here in this file and comments. Now, you cannot edit this file, so this is a no-go, so you can't replace the UI for this. So what do? Well, actually, what I do is I insert every single setting that VS Code has in my settings.json file, even the default ones. To me, that's a much better user experience. But before I show you what that looks like, let me just tell you how to change from the UI to the JSON file. So you will be presented with a UI by default, and you can just search for workbench.settings, and you have this workbench settings editor option right here, and you just change it from UI to JSON. And now, instead of clicking that button, you can, when you open your settings, it will go directly to the JSON file, right? And this is one of the options I have in my settings. So let me put that back. All right. Now, to me, this file that contains every single setting in VS Code, even the default ones, is a better experience. And the reason why is that, on the one hand, I alphabetize them, and I'll show you how to do that. On the other hand, I can see a lot more settings in one go. It's what I'm used to, right? Because I'm a programmer, so this is what I'm used to. JSON file, and you can just hover over a setting, and you'll see its description. And if you want to know what options you have in a particular setting, you can delete and press Control Space, which is the autocomplete feature in VS Code, and VS Code will tell you what options are available, right? So a JSON file works much better for me than a user interface. All right, on the next videos, we'll go through how to keep this file organized and up to date.